think I'm actually at this sticky thing here. Orientation lock. Yeah. You can complain all you want. This thing's pissing me off. I never take it out of here anyway, so what's the deal? Hopefully this will work. I'm hoping that the sticky thing will work. Yes, it will. I'd like to say good morning to everybody before it's morning, and hopefully my sticky thing will work. Hello. Ooh, the volume is low. I don't know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Just say yay or nay, because I don't know if you can hear me okay. I might have to put my headset on. Can you hear me? Yay? Cool. Hello from New Zealand. Hey, how y'all doing? Cool. All right, that's great. All right, so the title of this is Broken Krone Live. Now, um, I am actually at a mushroom barn right now, so I'm kind of, I got a few minutes to talk about this thing. Oh, New Holland from Holland. Okay, not New Holland. The Krone last night broke down. Now, most of you know that I sent my baler out to Messick's Equipment to have it maintained. It wasn't broken or anything, but it was maintained, properly maintained according to them. And, not to say that they're incapable of maintaining the equipment or anything, because they're not. Gerald is the guy that worked on it. Cody Ritchie, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Gerald is a very competent mechanic, does a good job, but for some stupid reason, yeah, it started early. 455 bales, I believe, 455 bales are on the baler, and it has broke down in a major way. So what has happened is I climbed up onto the top of the baler after it stopped working. It actually sounded as though I'm getting unloaded, so if I'm looking the other way, um, it sounded like the thing was going to explode. The stuffer mechanism stopped functioning, and the slip clutch was, or the ratchet clutch was ratcheting right along, and it proceeded to stuff the pre-charge chamber full of hay, which is going to be an issue. Um, anyway, what happened is one of the pre-charge stuffers uh, jumped track. Now there's bearings that it rides in, and they're very expensive bearings, like $300 to $400 a piece, and they go in there and it jumped out of the track, which makes no sense to me why it would do that. At least I can see that it's jumped out of the track. Now I may have snapped one off, um, a collapsed bearing on the crank. Now, well, it's brand new. They're brand new. Now that's not to say that the bearing is that a bearing shaft broke off. I don't know. I'm a little bit perturbed, let's put it this way, and I was unable last night to get in there to really, um, um, I was unable to see it because it's stuffed full of hay, but I could see that the one bearing is out of its track. So today I'm going to um, pull the bearing off. I'm going to clear its throat, which is going to cause that one bar to flop loosely. So I should be able to just take that bearing off, get that out of there. It is in a spot where I can slide the shaft out, and then I'm going to clear its throat and actually see what is in bad shape, what is in a bad way, because there's two bearings on each one of those bars. I have a sneaking suspicion that someone didn't tighten up the bearing nut. And the funny thing is, why would I have such a sneaking feeling if someone didn't tighten up the nut? Is because on the bar that becomes stiff and then becomes the stuffer bar, or I would call it the stuffer bar, uh, that has a loose nut. It is loose. It is very loose. Like the bolt, they never tightened it up. And then 455 bales of use, which we're talking about 7 hours, 6 or 7 hours of use, has loosened up to the point where that bar is going to break off or come apart and cause major damage. So I'm going to be really doing a major inspection on this thing. I will be documenting it with my trusty, dusty, handy dandy Olympus camera here, and you will see it on YouTube, just not today. That's a problem with these guys when they're not too good at unloading. It's coming in from an odd direction for some reason. I don't get it. Not that smart, but whatever. Anyway, oh, knock them off, man. Damn it. I'm not pissed off at Messick, and I'm not pissed off at Krone. I mean, we're all human beings, and we do make mistakes. And I just got this feeling that, and I'm not saying that Gerald is a bad mechanic, because he's not. He knows more about these Krone balers than probably the guys that put them together, because he works on the whole machine, not just one part. And it's not to say that someone wasn't apprenticing while Gerald was working on my baler. I don't know, but I do know that there's a problem. Krone is not shit. Come on, get over it. The thing is that I'm going to have to get into it and see exactly what is going to happen. Yeah, first the 8530 and now this. Well, if this is going to be a problem, like a long-term problem, then yeah, I possibly will be. Um, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a long-term problem because I just spent I've got a bill for $21,000, and I didn't pay the whole thing yet, but I'm paying on that bill because it was a little shocked that I would have a $21,000 maintenance bill on it. You know, there was a lot of things that needed to be worked on, and there was warranty work that, for some reason, that very expensive warranty that I paid for didn't cover it. Um, so, I mean, Krone has a very good warranty, but if they're not covering the warranty, if they're not covering some of the stuff, it's like, oh, but I'm really, um, geez, Cody, don't be spending too much of your money there. I mean, I appreciate it and all, but I do. I really do appreciate it. I mean, if you want to donate for the $21,000 bill, that's okay. You can do that, I guess. Holy cow. Thanks, Dave. The 8530 is shifting just fine. Chucky can come down my hay if he wants, but I don't deal with round bills. Yeah, it is a lot of money. Um, yeah, it is a lot of money. No, I don't know what has happened. I haven't gotten into it, and like I said, I'm going to investigate and see what the major problem is. Now that loose bolt that is going to cause that very same part of the baler to fail and possibly lose parts. That I'm not too thrilled. I'm sitting in the truck because I'm waiting to get unloaded. When you're getting unloaded, it takes some time. So, but let me plug you all in here. Um, Thank you. That's the most you've said. It's not comment today. I mean, that's okay. I mean, I don't mind the comment, but that's the most you've ever said. Not true. So, anyways, with that, we're going to find out. I haven't spoken to Messick because it's Sunday, and Messick is not open on Sundays. This happened last night. Can I recap on what happened? What happened was I had one of the stuffer bars has jumped the track. Not sure if there's a broken bearing shaft. There's a broken bearing shaft, and that's a faulty bearing. Yes, I'm at a mushroom barn. I've been flipping around here. You might be able to see something. There's some hay. Yeah, but that's where I'm at. So when I get home, I'm gonna get into that thing. I gotta blow it off. I got rain showers above me here, so I'm hoping that they hold off because the baler's actually sitting outside. No, next year is its last year. This is its last year for warranty, but I'll get another rebuild on it this fall, and then I'm gonna run it one more year. Hopefully, I'll get through this year. No any damage will be covered by warranty. I would think so. I mean, if it's a faulty bearing and bearing shaft, then yes, they're gonna have to do something about that. No volume. There's no sound. How about now? Is there sound here? Can you hear me now? Say if you can hear me better now, because I'm telling you, I do have some audio is poor. Is it still poor? Is it better? Say yes if it's better. Much better. Okay, so it's my headset. Let me grace you with my balding head. Bald head, my shaved head. That's better. Okay, cool. Much better. All right. Yeah. So anyway, the we're gonna find out, and if there is any damage, I don't see any damage yet because it's full of hay. So I've got a plan on how I'm gonna get it apart, and right through milking time. Well, I'm not milking cows anymore, so I don't know who Daniel is. I don't see a Daniel on here, so I don't know if he's trolling or not. But anyways, that'll get. No, I mean things break. I mean I'm catching breaks, but things do break, and I understand if things break, from where. But I was on dry hay in a field where there was no mud, and there was nothing going into the baler. I was in the middle of the field, so I don't believe that there was any. I'm gonna move now. I don't believe that there was any obstructions in the. Oh, there he is. He does. He's got one more on there. I didn't realize he had one more on there. So let me just kind of park that. He's gonna have to. Let me back it up so he can get a hold of it. I just really need him to do this correctly. Sorry about that, buddy. All right. Yeah, he left one on. They're supposed to grab 3 at a time, but he's only grabbing 2. This guy's a greenhorn, I think. And it's a good bale. I mean, yay! Now he's got it. Okay, so this guy's name is Nacho. You got a whole variety of guys down here. He's a good guy. I don't have any problems with him. But Nacho, Jesus, Fidel quit, I'm not trolling. I'm just calling you a fuckwit. Why are you calling people fuckwits? What's the point in that? I'm not calling anybody a fuckwit, so you shouldn't either. You know, he's Nacho, your friend. Yeah, he's Nacho. Nacho friend. No, he's Nacho friend. Not Nacho, your friend. Just Nacho friend. I'm going to have to get out here and kick off some shit because you know what? I got shit in the way. Damn it. Greetings from Krone country. Well, Krone and I are on the shit list. So here, I got wires hanging off of me everywhere. Here, let me flip you around. You can see what in the hell I'm doing. See this crap here? This is not good. There's some piles of hay you can see, and I don't know. Ugh. Kick this stuff off. I should have kicked it off up on the wharf, but guess what? Today's not my day. See, if you get going down the highway with this stuff on there, Smokey Bear will have his way with you. And it ain't going to be a good way either. I don't mind if it blows off because it's light, but this stuff isn't light. But yeah, they're doing their thing. I got spent compost, round bales. I didn't clean it off very good, but that's okay. I don't need a broom. I do need a broom, but I'm not using a broom for the simple reason I don't wanna. There's a lot of hate in the world, man. I agree with that. Falkland Islands. They fought the Germans in the Falklands, right? How long to drive back home? Long enough. Probably an hour and a half, 2 hours. I got to get fuel too. But anyways, back to the Krone baler. A little disappointed, but I'm gonna have to go over the work that they did. That cost me $21,000 because, in all honesty, I don't need any more failures than I've already got. I don't need those failures, So, yeah, Ireland, baby. Yeah, so I don't need any failures. So I'm gonna have to go over the work that they did, make sure things are tightened up correctly, and fix the problem that I have because honestly, I can't wait until Wednesday to have this thing looked at. And I'm pretty sure that there's going to be some scheduling issues with these guys. Okay, John, take them to court and get that covered. There ain't no getting nothing covered. This is it's not, that's not the way that works, I mean, who's got time to run to court? You know, by the time you run to court, hire lawyers, you're in it for, and you've got like this 30-70 chance of actually getting anything back. So what's the point? Yeah, the I don't know that there was ever even a failure with that. The baler had never failed. It was just a maintenance program that I put it through, and they took all the bars out, and I can show that because they've got them numbered, which is nice. But they took the bars out, and somewhere someone did not torque down the bolt correctly. Now I do have a repair, not a repair manual, but I do have the operator's manual. So with the operator's manual, I should be able to hopefully come up with a torque spec on that thing. I'm gonna think it's gonna be somewhere around 90 foot-pounds, some shit like that. I have no idea. I'll use the German spec because it's a German baler, but I'll use the Gudentite spec for it because honestly, I don't know what what the torque spec is. I'm gonna have to fix it. I'm just gonna have to fix it. Well, that's the sad thing is, yeah, I spent $21,000 to have a baler that I could go to the field with and work with, and you know, it's not I didn't pay $5,000 for a baler that someone claimed was field ready. I have a baler that I paid $175,000 for, and I paid a maintenance repair program of $21,000, and I didn't get 500 bales through it before it failed. And I mean, it failed miserably. I'm hoping that there's not some underlying damage from this thing. I don't see anything bent or anything, but man, it could be. You never know. It could be. So, yeah. McHale fixed chamber round balers. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not using round balers because round bales are a thing of the past here in the mushroom industry. They're not going to be using them. I'm going to hopefully be, you know, working with another mushroom barn so that I have three on the hook, and because I'm tired of being told by one other or both mushroom barns that they can't take hay or we can't pay you this week or whatever, you know. And there's a whole host of different scenarios that go on with the mushroom barns. Now the big mushroom barns they pay weekly, and I'm okay with that, but you're they'll cut you off when they don't need the compost. They won't stockpile. Now there's another mushroom barn that I'm hoping to get into, and they stockpile. So that's a good thing. So even if they're not cutting, they're stockpiling. Now the mushroom barn that I currently go to, they don't want to stockpile at this point, but they're going to be putting in a new system where they're going to be forced to stockpile. And that's all well and good and everything, but up until that point, they're not stockpiling anything. And I think if they stockpile, this is my humble opinion, I think if they stockpile, that it will be a lot less congested down there on the mushroom on the wharf. So you get it stacked up 6, 8, 10 high, say 6, 8, 6 or 8 bales high, instead of just pushing them up in big piles after they cut the strings. It'd be a lot more room, a little more compact, which they used to do, and then they got a little crazy. I'm in Kennett Square right now. That's where I'm at, my friend. Yep, I'm actually in Chester. I'm getting on 322 right now. Off of what was that 262? Yeah, 261. Route 261. That's where I'm at right now. Getting on to 322 east. Yep, the Kennett is just over the bridge from me, basically. Yeah. Are you going to give you a loaner? They're supposed to. That warranty requires that I am back in the field within 48 hours, where they give me a baler to use. Now, they didn't say they were going to give me a baler to use. They said they were going to give me a baler to use. But yeah, I'm in Kennett Square all the time, weekly. As a matter of fact, right now, I'm up to 9 loads a week coming down here. So Carl runs 5, I run 4. That's where I'm at. I work at one. They're 24/7. Yeah. Well, yeah. That's what's going on here. What? Rest in peace. Why do I have to rest in peace, man? Oh, the Lyme disease. I forgot to take my pill this. Well, I haven't gotten home to take my pill this morning. Um, the Lyme disease is on the run, I think. Uh, all the stiffness in my fingers. I'm actually able to play my banjo again and a little better. Oh yeah, no, they're not. Yeah, today I can take on a delivery. They usually take between 5:30 and 3. Most mushroom barns. This one that I go to right now is a small one, and they'll take whenever I take it in there. So yeah, but no, the Lyme disease is the medication is making me very exhausted. You know, it's very exhausted. What does Lyme disease do to your body? Well, it depends on what person is infected. I sometimes I wonder if the medication is worse than the disease itself. But it will cause non-Hodgkin's lymphoma if it's not caught, or it'll also cause other blood disorders. It will cause brain stem damage. It will cause brain damage. It will cause blurry vision. It will cause achy joints. It will cause low-grade fever. It will cause forgetfulness. It will cause, and when I say forgetfulness, you'll be driving home from your job that you had for 25 years and forget where the hell you're going. That's what it'll do to you. Yes, you get it from a tick. Sometimes you never even meet the tick that gives it to you because, sometimes they bite you and then they die. I've picked dead dicks off of me, dead ticks off of me. You know, or you'll even just, you get an itch and you scratch it and it was the damn little tick. Sometimes you get a bullseye. Sometimes you get a severe headache. Mine Mine was the symptoms that I recognized was and forgetfulness, fatigue, and very sore, achy joints, and just that sort of stuff. So the bullseye, that's correct. I did not get a bullseye. Timothy got a bullseye. I didn't get the bullseye. How much sweet corn am I planting this year? I haven't even looked at the corn planter. To be quite honest with you, right now, I got bigger fish to fry with this broken Krone baler. And like I said earlier in the live stream, that I will be using this camera to document and actually show what had happened. Because I, unfortunately, do not know what exactly has happened. All I know is that I have a pre-charged stuffer bar that has jumped the track and is causing a jam up because the bearing has gone between two holes. It slipped out of the track, came around, and jammed up in holes. I don't see anything bent or broken at this time, but it can happen. Can happen. It could be broken. Now the bearing is solid. They're brand new. And when I say brand new, they got 450 bales on them. I just got a bill for $21,000 to rebuild this thing. I have found loose bolts and loose bearings, and I'm afraid that that's what has happened now. Yes, if you like this headset, this is Blue Tiger Elite. It comes with either one ear or two. You can have one. I am deaf in my left ear, so it doesn't really matter. It makes me hear better. And when I'm driving with this thing, most of the time I have an amplifier on there so I can hear what the hell's going on. I don't listen to music anymore because it hurts my ears. It gives me a headache. And I think that's just music in general. I mean, country music isn't country anymore. And, you get tired of hearing the same old stuff over and over again. Lyme disease, and she had to go to the hospital, and she was there for a week. Oh, yeah. You can get Lyme disease so incredibly bad that it's debilitating, that you can't even walk. Yeah. So, unless you're I'm not falling apart. I'm actually feeling a lot better. But the fatigue that I have right now is from the medications. Because as you kill the spirochete, that's the little bastard that bores into your brain matter and joints and other areas of your body. Testicles, too, that's kind of crazy, but they will bore into anything they can bore into, and they hide there. So when you put antibiotic into your system, the little bastards will recognize that they're getting killed, and what they'll do is they'll bore deeper, and you get into the deep tissues like brain tissue and joints. The antibiotics don't go there very effectively. So what you have to do is you got to stop taking the antibiotic for a week or so, or even a month, and then go back into the antibiotic again. Whether you change it up, I'm changing it up and going for different types of antibiotic. And I'm on my third type now, which I think is one that I have never taken. I took it once before a long time ago. It is for Lyme disease, gonorrhea, and other sexually transmitted diseases, which is kind of funny because I don't have a sexually transmitted disease. I have Lyme disease. And as far as I know, I don't think you can get Lyme disease through having sexual intercourse. So I don't know. And Teresa would have it for sure, but she doesn't, and she seems pretty healthy. Once you have Lyme disease, you always have Lyme disease. Yeah, the Krone doesn't have Lyme disease. The Crone's got, and I'm hoping that what I find is just a broken bearing shaft, and that'll be easy to deal with. I can actually take one of those bars out. As silly as that may sound, I can take the bar out that is bad and actually run it. If I have to run it without that bar, I just have to go slower because I don't really want to have it out of balance. But you know, if I have to, I have to until I can get this bearing. But I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it cleared out this morning and get it where it needs to be, so that I can assess the damage. And then I'm gonna call Messick's first thing tomorrow morning. I'll get a hold of Gerald. I thought I had his phone number, but I don't for some reason. What do I do to prevent ticks? I'm using Hart's flea and tick repellent for the dog. Put it on the back of my neck. I'm good for 28 days. Yeah, you got to use for like the Great Dane size because I'm 225 pounds. You know, I'm a big, heavy guy. I'm not fat. I'm just built really heavy. So, yeah, if you want to prevent ticks and fleas, I was noticing I had like mange behind my ears, so I was scratching a lot, and I figured the Hertz flea and tick stuff, that shit works good. So try that out. I'm just joking. That is a joke. I haven't used that in at least a month. I mean, I haven't used that in a while. I used to actually, when I treated the cows with Ivomec, I would purposely get that stuff on me so that I wouldn't have fleas and ticks. I don't have fleas, but ticks. I would purposely spill it on myself, and I never had an issue in all the years that we were using Ivomec. I never actually, and this is the truth. I did this. I I never had a tick. I started shaving my head because I don't like ticks. And my ex-wife was a hairstylist, so when she left the house, yeah, when she left, I didn't have anybody cut my hair, and I wasn't going to pay somebody $20 a month or $30 a month to have my hair cut. So I just decided I would shave. And then I realized that razors are damned expensive, and I haven't joined the Dollar Shave Club yet because I haven't heard anybody that's had any experience with them. But my hat is here. It's right here. I guess I could put it on over. Now I look really ridiculous. Uh, uh. So yeah, have you considered a backup baler cost? I don't need a backup baler. That's why I buy new balers, because when you buy a new baler, it is worth it, you say? Oh, Romanian farmer. There you go. Um, I'm not going to piss on my body. That's disgusting, you know? Oh, you know what? We could talk about that Anthony Bourdain guy. You know, we lost two celebrities this past week. Okay. Now, I didn't know who Anthony Bourdain was. I think his name was Anthony Bourdain. Maybe it was I'm a poor little rich kid, that rich old fuck that is selfish Bourdain. That might be what his name is. And the other one was Katie Spade. So get this. You know, okay, so here's my thoughts and opinions on these two idiots. You have families, you have children, you have wife or husband or girlfriend. You know, life can always get worse. I mean, you can have life by the balls and something happens and it gets worse. But when you're rich, you know, when you're rich and you got all the money in the world and your girlfriend breaks up with you or something, what does that matter? Go get another one. There's like two women for every man on this planet. So, what is your problem? Now, when it comes to Katie Spade, now here you got a person. She actually contributed, I think, a little better than what this Anthony Bourdain did. Um, Katie Spade was a designer. If you don't know, I never bought a Katie Spade purse, but my daughter has one, and it was given to her by somebody else. Oh, that doesn't surprise me. His problem was heroin. It doesn't surprise me. Now, I was watching a thing on this Anthony Bourdain, and he was an anti-white. I guess you would call him an anti-white supremacist. I mean, nobody wants to be a white supremacist, but as far as the human race is concerned, and I kind of I'm not prejudiced. I'm not racist. A lot of people will say that I am, but I am not. I don't care what color your skin is. It's the character of your person that matters to me. And, you can be, I'm going to use the N word here. You can be a nigger of all colors. It doesn't matter if you're white, yellow, black, red skin. If you're, that's just a broad paintbrush, to use that word. You can be a use if you want to use the word nigger in a bad way, but it doesn't matter what color your skin is. We're all human beings. We're all part of the human race. We come from different regions of the world, which dictates our outer appearance. But what's inside is what really counts. As most 90% of you all know, is that I am with Teresa. Teresa is Filipina. She's from the Philippines. She is Asian. She is a beautiful woman inside and out. We all have our different problems. She has cultural differences from me that I'm learning, and I have cultural differences from her, which she is learning. But we both belong to the human race, whether we're black, white, or whatever. But as Anthony Bourdain, he was on camera talking about white people should die. Oprah Winfrey, the same thing. White people should just die. I don't know why they hate white people. Now I'm white. I'm 100% European. I've done the 23andMe, and I am 100% European. There's no American, Indian, Native American. There's no black. There's no Asian, and nothing in me at all. Teresa, on the other hand, she's Filipina and Spanish, right? Spanish, and I think that's where her beautiful eyes come from. She just got pretty eyes, man. They melt my heart. Anyway, um, so she always thought that she was told that she had Japanese, but there's no Northern Asia in her. She's Southeast Asian. I told her that she was Vietnamese and Cambodian, and she did not like that. But yeah. So Anthony Bourdain was an anti-white racist, even though I would say that he was white. I don't think that he was any other color but white. Not that it matters, but people have this idea that race is the color of your skin. I don't. I think we're part of the human race. That's just me. I don't condone any. I don't condemn interracial or regional relationships. I don't care if you're black or white or whatever. If you find love in somebody else, then that's where what you feel, and you shouldn't be ashamed. I'm not ashamed of it. Um, I happen to think that Teresa's values are greater than anybody that I've ever been with. Her family values mimic mine, even though we're half a world apart. And it's just been a great relationship. But when you get celebrities like Anthony Bourdain, you get Oprah Winfrey, who have this false sense of importance, I should say. Uh, this false sense of importance. What did Anthony Bourdain actually do? He was a guy that went to restaurants and ate food. Well, I can go to a restaurant and eat food. I don't have to put it on camera, and I don't. Oprah Winfrey, here's this very prejudiced black woman who has the power of her name, which she built in her own right. She built her name up to be known worldwide as somebody that's supposed to mean something, and her opinion counts. But her opinion really doesn't count because, let's face it, what has she ever really done? She got on TV, she interviewed people, good people, bad people, and now people like watching her interview these people. They feel that she is something special, and now I hear this nonsense that she's going to run for president. Well, okay, I'm not voting for her. When she stands up and says that white people just need to die, the country, the United States is still the majority is still white. We haven't been completely overpowered or overrun by the South Americans yet, and MS-13 or whatever. Yeah, but there's a lot more to Anthony Bourdain than what we saw on TV. That's correct. There's a lot more to me than what you've seen on YouTube. Also, good, bad, and indifferent. You know, quite honestly, you see probably you see more of me than what you think, than what I think you do. Good, bad, or different. My opinions are my opinions. They're like assholes. Everybody's got one. If you don't like my opinion or my thought process, then you don't watch, and that's okay. But I'm not fake. You can ask anybody that's ever met me when they come to the farm. I am no different than what I am on film. So there you go. You're seeing the real me. Now, when you catch clips of people like Anthony Bourdain in airports where they ask him, hey, if you were asked to cater the Trump Kim Jong Un meeting, what would you serve? And he says immediately hemlock, which, if you don't know, is a poison, because he would like to poison the president. Doesn't like the president of the United States, and that's his opinion. But when you say something like that, that gives people a glimpse into that real person as to what they really feel about people. Now, as most people can agree to disagree or agree that we're all different and we all have different opinions, um, he is our president. you know, do I like everything that Donald Trump does? No. No. Do I like Donald Trump? Do I think I would like Donald Trump as a person? I don't think I would. Do I like the things that Donald Trump is doing? Yes, I do. I think I really think he should watch my videos and see this fucking road that I'm driving on, because it's a goddamn shame that I have to dodge potholes on Interstate 95, which is the north-south main artery of the eastern seaboard, and it is in such disrepair in this area that I don't even know what to say about it. But anyways, do I think Donald Trump's doing a good job? I do. I have Instagram. Donald Trump posts on Instagram, and he says, "Hey, I'm not going to allow these other countries to do what they've always done, and that is to punish farmers for fair trade. You know, a lot of these left wing snowflakes don't understand what fair trade is or what a trade deficit is. Maybe people that are watching this don't understand what a trade deficit is. Okay, I'm going to explain it in layman's terms. You have two levels. This is imports. This is exports. A trade deficit is the difference between the imports and the exports. The United States is not exporting half of what is being imported from these countries. And the exports that we are sending out has a tariff on it to go into the other countries. Free trade isn't free trade. You know, when Obama said free trade, when Clinton said free trade, when Bush said free trade, and when Bush said free trade, there wasn't free trade. It was a one-way street. The free trade came in, the tariff trade went out. So that's how that worked. Now, fair trade over free trade, I will support any day. So what's the first thing that these other countries say? Okay, if you tariff the goods coming out of your country or coming into your country, we're going to tariff. What can we tariff? Because there's a trade deficit. They're going to tariff the products that are going into their country, which is grossly under what they're sending out. They don't need our crap, but what they do need is food. And we have the breadbasket of the world right in the middle of this country, and that is food. We produce meat, we produce poultry, pork, beef. We produce corn, soybeans to feed other countries' animals. Now, so they tariff the food. They tariff the food that's going out of the country. So, does that make it any more expensive for the people in their country? Hell no, it doesn't. Because what does the middleman do? Middleman doesn't want to lose money. So what does he do? They drop the price that goes to the farmer. Me, the guys that are actually producing the food are the ones that get punished. So Donald Trump stands up at the G7 summit, allow our farmers to be punished for free trade, fair trade. This is the first president in the history of the United States I can remember that has ever said, we're going to protect our farmers. Yay. Thank you. I mean, how often did how often did a president in the last 40 years go to the farmers and say we're going to protect you? We're talking Nixon, Agnew. Come on. It was before my time. I was born in 72. Nixon was forced to resign in 74. I was 2 years old. So that was pretty much the last time the farmers were taken care of in by a president. That's how long ago? It's 40, 45 years ago. 42, 43, 44 years ago. So, yeah. Well, Daniel David loves me. Okay, he can love me. That's okay. I don't mind. I've been loved by many and hated by more. But, that's just the way it is. So, I don't know. Is Donald Trump doing a good job? I would say Donald Trump is doing a better job than a lot of presidents have done, at least for farmers. Yeah, a lot of protect us. That's his job. His job is to see that all the people in the country are either working or producing food for a fair rate. I'd love to see the deer problem that I have go away so I could produce corn and soybeans. Hauling hay to the mushroom barns is insane. You know, it's insane. I'm heading home. Probably about an hour now to get home. Yes, we're using the Peckway tedder. I have a video of that coming up here uh, the next go round of hay because the Peckway tedder is an awesome tedder. Anybody that owns a Peckway tedder of this caliber would be absolutely 100% thrilled to own it. I have had zero problems with it. This is its second season in, and yeah, Yeah, I've watched Warren's channel for actually about 6 months. I've watched his channel. I watched him do some work on a 7000 series Deere IVT transmission months ago. I didn't get the whole series in because I wasn't having trouble. But, well, ooh, there's a fire truck blocking the road and a car turned completely around the opposite direction and a car that is smashed to smithereens because people are stupid. It is Sunday, for the love of God. And now they got a bucket truck. They got a ladder truck coming. Huh. Democratic government no longer cares. No, the Democrats, listen. The Democratic Party, the Democratic Party is so far off the charts ridiculous. It's not even funny. I watched Fox News the other day. I was in my parents' house and they were talking about these left-wing media centers: CNN, CNBC, MSNBC, Oprah Winfrey, or Whoopi Goldberg. Here's another raging racist black woman. That woman is crazy, 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 crazy. And again, what does she bring to society? Entertainment. That's it. She's an entertainer. Her opinion is as valuable as the rubber on my tires. Goes around and around and around, does the same thing over and over again. Spread hate and dishonest, dishonest, lies. Lies are lies. But anyways, they're talking about Stormy Daniels. They did this clip on Stormy Daniels. Oh yeah, Warren's a great mechanic. I watched him cut a wire the other day on a New Holland, and it's like, I'll fix it. I'm just going to ground this thing here. I actually think that was the seat switch in that tractor, not grounding. It was either a seat switch or it was a clutch pedal switch. That's all it was. But he grounded it, and now it'll start no matter what. But that's just me. It depends on the owner of that tractor whether that was a right thing to do or not. But anyway, yeah. So they're talking about Stormy Daniels. Now we're talking a whore, a woman that spreads her legs for a living. And they posted a couple of the titles of the videos that she had done, and they're like, these were the only ones that we're probably going to get yelled at, but these are the only ones that we're able to post on here, these titles of these videos that she's done. And they're like, now this woman is not a good person. She makes a living fucking on camera. Okay, there's no other way to say this. She makes a living by fucking on camera. Did Donald Trump fuck her 10 years ago? I wouldn't give a rat's ass if he fucked her and all her friends on camera 10 years ago. None of my goddamn business. It's none of the country's business. He wasn't president 10 years ago. Just like Bill Clinton coming out. Did Monica Lewinsky suck his dick while he was in the Oval Office? Well, yes, she did. She admitted that she did. He admitted that she did, even though he didn't have sex. He lied about it. That's what got him impeached, by the way, which most people really don't remember. Seem to remember that Bill Clinton was impeached. He was not removed from office, but impeached, and that. But anyway. Okay, who gives a damn what the man did 10 years ago? I don't. That's between him and his wife. I'm sure it's been resolved 10 years ago, if it ever even happened. I don't believe it happened, personally. I really don't. What's your parts removing Roseanne shows and tweets? Okay, Roseanne Barr stepped over the line with the racist tweet. Okay, she stepped over the line, but this is nothing unusual for Roseanne Barr. I mean, if you are as old as I am, you remember Roseanne singing the national anthem like, that's what she did. Okay, she did that, which was wrong, but funny. She's a comedian, for God's sakes. Did she deserve to have her show yanked off the air? Well, no, I don't think so. Do the View need to go? Absolutely. Whoopi Goldberg sat on The View and said all white people need to die. Okay, so when she is on The View and she's saying white people need to die, that is a racist, that is genocidal. You know, that is she is calling for the mass extermination of white people. So her show needs to go. You can't say, okay, Roseanne made this racist tweet, which she apologized for. Okay. Was it right? Was it wrong? I don't know. Did she blame a drug company? Yeah. Oh, I don't care. None of my business. Do I need to watch Roseanne? No. If Roseanne's on TV and she still has ratings and people are still watching her, just like The View with their racist agenda and their anti conservative agenda, then people are still watching that and it's still on. Roseanne should have been given the same choice. The Krone baler has skipped the track on its. There's a big reel in there. I call it a pre-charge, but pre-charge and stuffer chamber, and it's had problems. So yeah, it's broken. But how about using steel and aluminum from U.S. instead of importing? I am 100% for U.S. steel. It is a higher grade steel than any other steel produced in the world because it is. And yes, I would definitely buy it. Matter of fact, when it was still available to me, I used to pay more money for it because I knew it would last. How long is this going live for? Well, until I decide that I've had enough. Oh, I'm my air horn. Yeah, I'm in the truck. This is a truck. I'm driving. This is a steering wheel. I don't have one of those steering wheels stuck to my desk. That's funny. We had the choice. I would never buy anything from outside the country. Well, that's the way it used to be, and the products here were built to last. That's why antique stores are still full of very useful items. But you don't see any stores selling anything that's within the last 30 years because it was designed to replace, not designed to last. Fox choppers. Let's talk about Fox choppers. This is an agricultural product. Fox choppers lasted 30, 40 years. You bought a Fox chopper, you could not wear it out. You just put parts into it. It wouldn't wear out. I had Fox choppers. I had Fox choppers for my whole career as a dairyman. I mean, these were choppers that were bought in the 50s and 60s, not the 70s, but we had a Fox 1000 and we've had a Fox 900. And they were still functioning and working to the day we stopped using them. And now you buy a chopper from, say, New Holland. What are you going to get out of it? Same thing with a shit spreader. We had a night shit spreader for 25 years. Worked great. We got a Gale manure spreader, which cost twice as much as what the night did when it was, and we bought it used. But the Gale we bought brand new. We paid $6,000 for it, where you used to buy a shit spreader for $1,200. I think this guy is really starting to annoy me here. Left lane is closed. Um, yeah, and that lasted 6 years and it was completely destroyed. It was junk. It was junk. Yeah, things are not made to last. It's because that does not drive an economy. It's like Cutco knives, guaranteed for life. You buy one set, you've got that set forever, right? Correct. So if you're a Cutco knife salesman, you're only going to have that customer once. They're going to buy the most expensive set because that's it. And if they go dull, you send them back to Cutco and they sharpen them. If you break one, you send it back to Cutco and they replace it. So, yeah, you're only going to have a customer once. I have Cutco knives in the house. Unless you lose them, you're not going to be buying more. So, and that's the way it used to be here in the United States. You only had new customers. You didn't have when you sold something to someone. I'm trying to think of what you could. It was made from cast iron or heavy steel, or it was fabricated to last a very, very, very long time. Zenith televisions. When I was a kid, we had a Zenith television. It lasted for, oh Jesus, it lasted pretty much my whole life until after I was married, and I got married in '91. So I was like 19 years old when I got married, We had that Zenith television forever. Um, my parents got rid of it. I forget what happened. It did break. It burned out or something burned up on it, and it was no longer available. So they bought the next television, which only lasted 2 or 3 years. So yeah, yeah. Who's spreading bullshit lies? I'm not. I don't spread bullshit lies. I tell you what I think, and I tell you the truth, and that's it. If you're talking about me, you can just skive off there, buddy. Yeah, yeah. I never played with an. I had a Nintendo, and I hated the goddamn thing. Oh right, yeah. This Snapper. There's another one. Snapper lawnmowers. Man, when I was a kid, Snapper was like that was it. The best of the best. If you bought a Snapper. Um, my uncle Irv, he always ran. We always ran. He always ran Simplicity. Simplicity was Alice Chalmers. Oh, fucking road. Simplicity was Alice Chalmers. I have an Alice Chalmers lawn tractor down in the other building, uh, and they were probably the cheaper brand. Simplicity was, and he always ran Simplicities, but he had a Snapper, and I remember that damn Snapper because he had it for a lot of years, and then bought a new Snapper, when he bought a new Snapper, it wasn't very good because it was bought up by another company, and now I don't even think you can buy a Snapper. They were heavy built. They lasted a long time. Yeah, Troy built rototillers. We have a Troy built. We have two Troy builts, believe it or not. The old ones, they were great. The new ones, not so great. That's another thing. My mom and my grandmother bought that Troy built rototiller. Jesus, I was I was a kid, and they bought it used. So that thing's got to be, well, it's an early 70s model. They use it every year. Just pull the cord and go. Oh, for the love of God, you idiot. Just drive your car and stop being so fucking stupid. 2008, a lot of companies went tits up. Well, they did because there was such. All right, 2008. What happened in 2008? Does anybody remember what happened in 2008? I do. We elected a Muslim into the office of the presidency who didn't care about anything but himself and his family, and they hated white people, even though he's half white. Michelle or Michael Obama was a hating. She hated white people too. She hated people in general. She's so in love with herself. I don't think she ever contributed one positive thing to the American people other than racial divide or regional divide, if you want to call it that. I call it regional divide. She made black people hate white people worse than black people hated white people. When I was a kid growing up, we had black kids and white kids, and we were all friends, and we got along just fine. The Obamas come into office, and everybody hates everybody now. Like, oh well, we can't have that. You know? I don't know. I might have 70 acres on the ground. Krone is broken. It's got a derailed pre-charge stuffer chamber. I have to fix that. Tire popped on the baler? No. How many subscribers do I have? 106,000. That's what I've got. I have 106,000 subscribers. Yep. And no silver play button, not even a code. I've sent emails over to YouTube requesting the code, and I've gotten nothing. 100% nothing. So I think YouTube's going to fuck me out of the silver play button. I'll have to make my own, I guess. I don't think that the Europeans should be making better. Well, let's put it this way. What equipment are you talking about? The European equipment. The Krone? Well, if the Krone was, I like the Krone baler. I think it's built very, very well. I'm a little upset with Messick's right now because I think they messed up a little bit. I'm going to find out a little later today, but I'm not going to put the 7530 on the baler. 4960 is more horsepower than the 8120, believe it or not. Teresa in a bikini. I've seen her in a bikini. She's cute. Let me tell you. Nah, I can't say Messick's fucked up again, but somewhere someone has screwed up because I got loose bolts, and a derailed tine bar. Well, as far as um, I think that the American companies, you see, the problem by other companies, and that creates, uh, let's see, what would that create? You know, just poor quality, because they just don't want that American name. You know, they want to sell the fence, the Kloss, the Krones, the Pottingers, the the Kleinskelds, all those other companies. You know, John Deere is John Deere is a raging force. You know, they do produce very good, probably the best equipment in the world. I don't care what anybody says. I've been in AGCO equipment. I've been in a Fendt, you know, and they're okay, but I still go back to John Deere because I just, it's what I know, it's what I like, it's what I can work on because I've used them. But anyway, I'm gonna have to go. We're at an hour and 2 minutes and 58 seconds, so you're gonna see a video of the Krone in a week. 9. Right now, I'm at 9 loads a week. So anyway, I'm gonna jet on out of here. So thanks everybody for sticking by, sticking in, and thanks for the donations. That's great. I appreciate that, and hopefully everything goes well when I get my ass back home. But you'll see that probably tomorrow. You'll see what the hell's going on. Anyways, thanks a lot. Hope you enjoyed this. If you didn't, well, I'm sorry. If you did, well, I'm not really sorry. If you didn't like it, you could have turned it off, right? Anyways, have a good one. Bye bye.